Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kat.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing on my house?
Okay, calm the fuck down. Well, enough of the channel awesome bullshit. Time to actually talk about our discussion for this video. It's Christmas time, or the holiday season, whatever you prefer saying, and I was thinking of what are Christmassy games to play, and well, there's not really any. I guess, like, fucking Elf Bowling's all we really got, but I thought of a game that I guess could count as a Christmas game, a game I've been wanting to talk about in this channel for quite a bit actually now, a game that left on a huge impact whenever I first played it in 2016. Tattletail, released back in the good old year of 2016, where Gamergate started and all this culture war bullshit, and hey, well, it looks like we're getting a repeat of that year. Tattletail was one of the first Mascot horror games. Back then, before it became like the slop genre that it is now, Tattletail was definitely one of the originals. Said this one about being dead kids possessing animatronics like Chuck E. Cheese. It's about, well, Furbies. Didn't you guys have these growing up? I definitely had one of them. It was this one I had in particular. But not just Furbies, mixed a little bit with Teddy Repson, which is leagues creepier than Furbies. I stand by that. I remember when this game came out, it was near a phase like the new indie horror games that were kid-friendly, like Bendy and the Ink Machine and Hello Neighbor. But the thing is, Tattletail never took off as much as those ones did, which is a shame because I think Tattletail is leagues better than both of those. With Bendy and the Ink Machine being nothing more than just a glorified walking simulator, without really any interesting story or being really an all scary game, and Hello Neighbor being
making friends.
Hello Neighbor. I always thought Tattletail was leagues better than all of these, even when I was a dumb little kid. I thought it was so cool, and I think it's extremely more effective than both of them. Really didn't take off as much. But in some ways, I guess it's a good thing they didn't sell out the same way Bendy and Hello Neighbor did, and that's honorable. Speaking of the creator, did you know the person who made this made Sonic Dream Collection? That's how you knew they were gonna make a great horror game. But I can't just sit here all day talking about background. Let's talk about the game. Does Tattletail still hold up as well as I remember?
And a Nazi living in our tiny heart.
Tattletail is not a long game at all, and you know what, that's a good thing. I beat the whole game in one sitting, including its bonus content, 100%ing it all in one night. The menu is nothing exactly special, but it gives a decent atmosphere, I guess. I like the contrast of the fun text with, well, this image of mama, alarm clock counter for eggs. By the way, eggs will be relevant later, so keep a note in this. Opening the game, well, it looks like we are a kid that's curious about what they got for Christmas. Instead of, like, waiting a few fucking days, we can't bother, so we're gonna look at what we got. I think the vibe of this whole house is really good, weirdly, even though I know most of it is just pretty much stock assets and being recycled. But something about how the lighting works and just everything is a great vibe. It really does give the idea of some kid wandering around. The basement in particular always really stuck out to me. Quite a few years ago, someone I know passed away. It was my aunt, and she had a basement, and I remember wandering around in it a lot and actually spent most of my time at their place there, and I don't know, this, like, the basement here resonated a lot with me, and I think even as a kid it reminded me there, and I don't know, something about it always, like, creeped me out, and I don't know, just something about this basement area, I don't know, it hit me. It made me feel weirdly nostalgic for that time. This is a really fucking weird tangent to put in the video. But we find out our new toy, Tattletail. I absolutely love this design. It's genuinely so perfect, and it's such a shame we never got official merchandise. I love the voice acting and everything they've done for this little fucker. It's so good in everything. The vibe and design, how he talks, and just everything about him. So perfect. I really wish I could have like an official plush. Yeah, that would be really cool, wouldn't it?
That's me.
There's nothing really fret at all to this level, it just simply teaches us the mechanics. Tattletail will make a whole bunch of noise if he is not charged, if he is not groomed correctly, and if he is not fed. We don't actually have any fret at night, but since we're a kid wandering around at night, and also looking at our own Christmas presents early, we probably don't want to wake up our own mother. In fact, I always really liked how much the first couple of nights, even though there's like no fret at all, but they just constantly feel like I'm dispenseful to me. I don't know why. I've played through this game multiple times, and each time I feel just unsettled and uncomfortable, creeped out, even though there's no fret. I really do give me the vibe of some kid dicking around trying to make the least amount of noise possible. Not just because there's some fret, just because of general parents and all that crap. Like, it's something I've kind of always been anxious about, is making up too much noise to disturb people. I'm a legal adult and everything like that, and I still get worried walking out at night to go take a piss or grab something from the refrigerator because I'm scared about waking up the people around me. I don't know, so I guess it's something that's kind of played onto a fear of mine, I guess. And no matter how many times I play through this game, I don't I still feel anxious in the first couple of levels, knowing that even though there is nothing to fear. I like the kitchen part a lot in particular. The outside light looming into it just gives this weird aura where it's like, there's enough light for us to see and make it out what we are there. It's still dark enough for me to think that maybe something is in the corner. It's nothing unique or extremely original, but I think it's just really fucking well done. In fact, that's actually going to be most of my opinion throughout this game. A lot of stuff here is not exactly the most special, but it's just really fucking well made. But yeah, after all that playing with our Tattletale, we put it in the bed, and we had the option to pick up the phone. It told me not to, so I made sure, and... Well, I kind of regret picking up the phone for sure. Also, the door's open for some reason, so that totally isn't fucking creepy. Well, never mind that, off to bed.
Pornographers and cannibals and politicians too.
Night 2, we go downstairs to go play with our Tattletale, and well, he is in the washing machine. It's a miracle that you are still alive. For some reason, Tattletale wants us to play, and for some reason our kid mind thinks that a vase is a proper thing to play with. Oh, come on, we didn't even pick it up. This is where the lights go out and we get to meet our trusty flashlight. It's fucking weird looking. It has this bright aura, but it does play in a great mechanic-wise. You have to shake it, but shaking it makes noise. You notice how everything in this game kind of ties to making noises or doing this ticking time bomb. We have this flashlight which shakes, if we shake, makes noise, but we need it because guess what? Tattletale is afraid of the dark and will make even more noise if it's no light. So it's a trade-off of which resources and all that. We have to, it's a ticking time bomb on everything. It's really well designed and everything like that. Just everything, it just...
Fully dynamic game engine is, all of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
And once again, there is no fret in this whole night, but it just creeps me out still. I don't know why. Either way, we had fun breaking that vase. Off the bed.
In your head waiting to fucking strangle you.
We wake up and, well, we're gonna investigate that weird-ass noise. We see this trail of eggs. I haven't mentioned eggs too much, but there's some really odd things that they're hiding in these things, and they will be important later, but you'll see why they'll be important later. And we meet... Mama Tattletale. This is where I mentioned that Teddy Repson comes in, where Teddy Repson was not exactly like a Furby, would read these stories out to you, and honestly, I just don't like this guy. Everything about him screams to be like something that a cult would worship. I'm pretty sure in this commercial, Teddy Repson told all these kids to like actually jump off a building. They probably would. But if we turn on Mama Tattletale, oh, I just don't like her. Like, I don't like her design. I don't like how the voice acting, like the voice acting's great, by the way. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just mean I genuinely find everything about this whole speech creepy.
The children thought that Mama would never find them as long as she couldn't see them. Turn the page. But Mama could still hear the children. The pitter-patter of their little feet led Mama right to them. Turn the page. Then Mama found the children, every last one, and put them right back to bed.
I love the way it's delivered, calming tone, but it's obviously so sinister. It's great, by the way, genuinely. Either way, Mama's a bitch and she's gonna kill us now. And this night is not at all hard or anything, but you can die if you still manage to fuck up. This is where the gameplay loop actually begins. Mama can kill you now and perfectly tied. Like I brought up earlier about all the mechanics. Everything is tied basic to one simple thing, a noise. Along with all these mechanics, we have to stop what we're doing. Make sure this motherfucker is hungry or properly groomed or has fucking battery. Like, all this stuff is all tied down to basic thing of making noise. And it's great. It's really well
And again, it just works.
And you're probably thinking, well, noise being tied to a horror game is not very unique. Yeah, it's not very unique, but it's just so fucking well executed. But either way, let's go to bed now.
Probably hate to see your stupid face.
Night 2. This is where we get the hide and seek mechanic, where we get to find out, well, there's more of them. You're not purple, so I don't like you. But we get to play hide and seek with this little shit. Well, quote-unquote hide and seek, as I mean Mama's gonna come kill us again. You have 3 turns of this. We have one 30-second one, 60-second one, and a 90-second one, respectively. Once again, where I've already gushed about the gameplay loop being very solid and all tied down to one gimmick. Like I said earlier, it all just works.
Hey, stop it. The joke is not funny anymore. It never was. Okay, bye.
Give me 2 seconds, I'm gonna cry real quick. After we're done playing hide and seek, we get a VHS tape where we can, well, take our TV and we can look at some commercials. As we get to find out specifically, our Tattletale is baby talking Tattletail. I think it's fun. I love this shot in particular. And Mama killed a guy. This is where we get some lore building, where we get some more, obviously, story details. Are you expecting me to say more? I genuinely have no clue what these mean.
Don't care whether you live or die.
It's Christmas Eve night. We're being woken up by this little shit because he can't just let us have one good day before Christmas. We're having a party for Mama Tattletale. As I mean by that, I mean we're sending her to the underworld so she could finally fuck off.
Wake up! You're up! We're having a party for her mama.
But yeah, we give these back and forth fetch quests, setting up the whole ritual and everything like that. It's not bad for the most part. It's pretty much the same thing I said earlier about it. And we set it up. The whole vibe here is pretty cool. And the whole level's atmosphere is pretty awesome. But then Mama takes the candles and, you know, fucking asshole she is. And this is where the gameplay gets kind of lame or repetitive. The whole atmosphere of this level's cool and I really like it. But man, it's just not that mechanically interesting. Especially because the vases are like, oh, they make noise. Yeah, but they make noise, but there's no ticking time bomb like the other mechanics, so it's not as interesting and it's fucking lame. But besides that, we finally rewind the tape and Mama can fuck right up. And we can go to bed. Oh, wait, there's one more vase. Okay, now we can go to bed. Boom, it's Christmas, it's all jolly and everything like that. It's all bright and actually really interesting contrast to see the house that was once nighttime now bright like that. In fact, I feel like the heavy colors, especially how much they reflect and bloom, reminds me a lot how we all saw the world back then as a kid. Either way, it gives a really good vibe. It makes you feel like you're safe again. You're finally free. But hey, once again, we couldn't even bother waiting for our damn mother to wake up, so we're gonna open this present on our own. And where the fuck's Tal? That was a kind of fucking lame ending. I'm kind of fine with the idea of the bad ending, but could you at least make a new jump scare animation at least? Well, there's 2 more endings. First off, we'll go for the good ending, which is obviously us collecting all those eggs. Yeah, you remember those, you fucking idiot? You better have. And that ending has us opening up the box to see our fucking little shit. And he gives us a present, a golden flashlight. Well, this is kind of useless now, but alright. But hey, at least it carries over to the expansion, or else I would feel like I really wasted all my time. But hey, we finally get to knock on our mom's door, and the game ends. I actually find the fact of the lack of your mother in the whole game being very interesting, whole vibe. But there's one more ending I have to go over before we get to the DLC. Once we actually be able to outdoors, you can jump on here, jump on there, and then boom.
We know what you did.
Boom, jump out of the walls and walk off the planet.
You broke.
Why did you do this?
This is the canon ending in my heart, by the way.
Well, here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. You live in an unforgiving place.
So, the Kaleidoscope sequel, DLC, free update, or whatever you want to call it it's something for sure. Kind of whatever. It's honestly the least interesting thing about it. In fact, I think it would have been somehow I managed to be the most interesting and also the boringest way that you could have continued telling the story of Tattletail. The visuals are pretty cool. In fact, seeing Mama just up close is pretty creepy, but I don't know what the fuck this whole story is. I already didn't really know what the whole face game story is, but hey, I was just mostly focused on the creepy visuals. This thing's at least telling me more details. I just have fucking no clue what it is or care. I don't know, for the fact that it's very unique, I don't have much to say about it at all.
There are more numbers than you think.
But that's just a stupid dream that I won't realize.
So that was Tattletail. Pretty good. And some part of me kind of wishes it did get bigger and did more with it, but I guess it's a good thing that they didn't sell their soul out, losing every bit of things that everyone loved about these things to begin with. We got more from it, but definitely wasn't the direction we wanted. And I don't think they really knew where they wanted to take it, so they just decided to have a lot of fun with it. Everything about this game I think is great in a lot of places. The atmosphere, sound design, the voice acting, the character design is phenomenal, and I still think overall it's still a creepy game. But yeah, if you never played Tattletail, give it a try. And if you're not going to play it, watch Markiplier play it, alright? Even though this game didn't go huge, its legacy sure as hell has not been forgotten. I still see people bring it up when they talk about the whole indie horror sphere. I see people still falling in love with this little shit and everything about him. And most of all, no merchandise. Like seriously, I wanted that fucking official plush, you goddamn assholes. But thanks for listening to my Tattletale tangent. But until next time, oh hey, is that Santa on the roof? Holy shit, Santa's coming, everyone.
They said to just be ourselves, but we all knew that was never good enough. They said we had every chance, but how could we not fuck it all up?